Okay, I don't know. Last time I tried to do this, it was only going to only lasted 8 seconds. So we'll see. Anyway, rather than doing the whole thing again, this is just a little video to show some of the plotting stuff. And I was going to do all 3 steps, and I've tried that several times, and the app I'm using sucks. So I'm just going to jump ahead. So I've created a project here. It's called Ghostbusters because, you know. And then I have a note here where I've pasted and kind of torn apart a couple paragraphs of Peter Venkman's bio from the Wikipedia article of him. So I've taken his name, created a character with him, dialogue, get him Ray. That actually wasn't in the Wikipedia article, but there wasn't any dialogue in the first 2 paragraphs. And I had, story beat, a couple arcs, even though the joke here that his womanizing behavior is an arc. Because I changed that to, respect women is the woman, get rid of his womanizing behavior. But if you've seen the movie, he doesn't actually do that. He doesn't change at all. Lives a guy who would roofie a woman on a date and presumably will die that way. So who knows? Anyway, love the movie though, but he's a crass, horrible person. So I've got some of these extracted. So I've extracted some data and value, semantic information from the text that I put in. And I could have a whole bunch of notes. I could have more notes or whatever. But I only have one for the purpose of the demo. And I've got some plots here, some plotting, which is the new section, where it's broken into sections and with chapters as subsections. I will rename them, but currently they're called chapters. So you can see here, just move myself out of the way. So I've added a few sections. I'll add a 4th section. Let's see, revel in brief public adoration, I guess, because won't last until the sequel. Bum, bum, bum. So I have this little scrollable thing with different sections. Marshmallow rain. So I've got a little chapter there. So this doesn't really accurately describe the movie, but it is what it is. So a little simple. So I've added a bunch of chapters here. And if you see them, you can see that these are actually sections. I can't rename the sections yet. I have to add that as a feature. But I've got, this is pretty standard stuff. It just needs to wrap better because it looks a little gross. But I can open that, and then so you can see all these things. I can reorganize the sections, but not the chapters. That's the next thing I'm going to work on. But back to the plotting. So I'm going to set the library. Do I have a location for the library? Oh, the arc is, let's see, Come to Believe in Ghosts. I'll put that as an arc, even though that's not really appropriate. And I'll put, say, an arc at the university. So we'll call the respect women at the university part of that arc simply because in the scene, Venkman, who we will add as a character, does not, he doesn't succeed it, but it's a scene that builds his character. I don't remember this character's name if I ever knew it, so I'm just going to call her, victim, because she's the sort of, now, let's see, female victim / fake psychic. She doesn't really know. And then there's actually actual psychic. That one guy is actually kind of vaguely psychic. Just the kind of I'm talking too much about Ghostbusters, but anyway, let's see here. And then we're going to put librarian, so I can build up these character things pretty quickly. Is it stance? Is that? Yeah. And so I can do this. So I can come back later and elaborate on these characters. I could edit this. Eventually, I'll have the ability, to add like an icon that would show up in these little bars. But for right now, it's still this kind of thing. But so you could really quickly. Oh, Peter Venkman's already a character. I don't have any duplicate detection either, so that's the thing. I'll eventually add a million features. But one thing, I'm looking at the clock. I'm trying to make this concise. The one thing you'll notice when you add more items to it, like if I add an extra arc, it will push all of these things down to keep them visually kind of synced, which is pretty sweet and not insignificant task, actually, considering the structure of how this is. I mean, these are all in New York, so I won't need to put them all in New York, but let's put something in here. Get out of jail, which is way earlier in the movie than it needs to be, but that's a story beat. At some point, I may make it so you can only use a story beat once, because like a to-do list, I might have that as like a per chapter thing or per project. I'm not sure, but that really depends on usage. I think did I add get 'em? I have get 'em Ray, so I have different dialogue. I'm going to add something here. I'm just going to say you're a genuine and legitimate phenomenon. I think it was legitimate. Anyway, oops, I think that's right. Anyway, let's see. Back off, man. I'm a scientist. Actually, no. Hold on. That actually should be get 'em Ray. Let's see if this works. There we go. So this one is not right. There. Does anybody want to interview me? And now that is obviously a Lewis Tully line. If you've seen the name, and I can't remember if it's Lewis. I think it's spelled like that, but it doesn't really matter. So I would be able to map those together. And if I misspelled his name, I don't care. I do care actually, but I'm hopefully didn't. And so let's see. No, we gotta save the world. So I'm spending way too much time putting actual points in, but hopefully you get the idea here that you can add a bunch of these things pretty quickly, and you get a kind of a nice bird's eye view of the. There, I'm gonna move myself up here. Bird's eye view of the plot. It's kind of cool. You can click to edit. You can click to edit the things here, or you can just remove them from the chapter. So if I say, the university, come to believe in ghosts is not there, so I can click this, and I can then remove. I can remove from chapter or the entire project if I want, or I can just click this little X. If I roll over, and it goes away. I can't at present sort the chapter, so that's one of the next things on my list. And to help, I have a little to help visualize. I have a little scale slider that I'm going to fix up the look of. My machine is for some reason running really slow, but the idea here is you shrink down more. It's going normally much faster, but I think it's because I'm recording. So you can see, you roll over, you get the little title information. So hopefully it would help visualize. And then when you're ready to start writing, you can just go in and say to at the university. That link should work. There we go. And you're in this chapter, and alongside here you have the dialogue that's been added, you have all the characters, and you have the arcs. So you put all that semantic information in, so you'll be able to reference that as you're writing, and at a certain point the dialogue you'll be able to, he said, oops, if I could type properly while doing this. Get Ray, or wait, that's not the right dialogue. What's the dialogue? You're a legitimate phenomenon. See, this isn't for hers, but which I think I misspelled. Anyway, that you would be able to select that and then map it to that and say this is that thing, but that's not there. So right now, I have this kind of thing. My machine is I spelled that wrong. So the idea is you'd be able to jump back and forth really easily, and you'd be able to sort of keep track of stuff. So you'd be able to, it just looks cool, and it takes a second. I'll load back in. There we go. So yeah, that is a current view of it. That's always longer than I expect them to be, but hopefully that makes sense. This is really specifically for a couple different people. I mean, I'm going to put it up publicly, but it's like really for Matt and Paul to look at because I'd love to get your feedback. Yeah, so it's kind of cool, and so yeah, that's all.